Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vibe Time with Jerry. We all know what it is. It's the third Tuesday, which means we have the infamous John Stevens, founder of Virginia Paranormal Events, and of course, my co-host David Flowers. How you doing, John Stevens?
Good.
We'll just get right into it.
I was waiting for the you to hit the button with the cheering sound.
Oh yes, yes. Hold on, the infamous. Yes, that's right. Hold on, we got to get that clap. John Stevens, everybody, founder of Virginia Paranormal Events. We'll just do another clap.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll be here for at least an hour.
I forget that feature is there.
What else? What other sound?
Paul.
Well, do you have like a booing sound as well? Because if someone puts something in the comments that you don't like, you can always boo it.
No, I have an air. Oh, we do. Wait, we gotta. or wait, we have a gasp.
I would be hitting that button all the time. So now you know if I say something that that will make you gasp, you got to hit the button.
What are they champagne glasses?
It should say chug, 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 is what it should say.
I wish I had those on my side. Yeah,
that's
there you
funny.
Go.
Okay, so when you tell a good joke, we can just put that on there.
The rim shots, yep.
Have you been since I saw you at Oyster Fest?
Pretty good. I haven't been doing any investigating. I don't think. Let me think. No, I don't think so. But I know y'all have been busy.
I've been very busy.
I think, David, you had told me that y'all had a group of 30 or something, maybe.
Yeah, we've had some really good numbers at the resort this year. Yeah, our November's down a little bit, but overall for the year we're up.
Wow,
so, can't complain.
Anybody come investigate, like on a Friday nights or anything?
The last one we had was
Forgotten Explorations.
Yeah, in August.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're out there in August. God, they've been out there twice this year.
Yeah, August. It just seems like it was much longer than that.
Yeah, I know, gotten it.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's been pretty cool. It's the Manor House at Powhatan Resorts in Williamsburg, Virginia. It's a resort. It's a gated resort.
Yeah, they let me in.
Yeah, they let you in. So, guess they just let any old damn body in there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to refresh because I can't see the chats.
Okay. But yeah, it's been pretty cool out there. Different, meeting different people and different groups, and yeah, it's been pretty cool. We always have interesting discussions. We had a tour where it was just they didn't even investigate. It was just ask questions.
Yeah, that was last night's tour.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we let people investigate after the tour's over?
Yeah.
Everybody stood around just asking us questions.
Were they good questions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really they were very interesting. Just different, asking about different experiences and
Different places to go, maybe, or
have we ever been touched, or can you bring them home with you? Just very interesting questions. It was a very interesting group, really nice people, very nice.
So the same questions that people ask or probably go into investigations that have never done it before.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people are, if they are apprehensive about investigating, is they think that they're going to come home with something, or something's going to attach to them, or it's going to be like, I don't know, they're going to get possessed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Paul Fowler said Fairy Plantation was decent. That's what he was talking about.
I haven't been to Fairy. I've heard it's used to be really good. I don't think they do anything there anymore. At least I haven't seen anything in a while. They used to have a Paracon there.
Hey, Sully.
Hey, Sully. Sully had a great size group at the paranormal lockdown last weekend.
Nice.
This past weekend. It really looked good.
And where is that at, Belgrove? Because we always have people that are watching that they're not familiar with certain things. We have out of state people, with from the Manor House. A lot of people pick up our stuff from the table, the cards and stuff, and they tune in. So if you want to tell a little bit about that way people will know what that is. Hey, Tina.
Yeah, Belgrove is a 1700s plantation on the Rappahannock River, just north of Richmond, on the way to, you're taking 301 north, and it's actually in King George, Virginia, as you cross over the river. The plantation's on your left-hand side, and it was the birthplace of James Madison. And a lot of people don't know that, because James Madison was one of the very first presidents that we had, but he was actually born in the house. The house is still standing, more beautiful than ever now after it's been renovated and stuff. But there's other buildings on the property that could be investigated. One of them is a caretaker's house, a home I think was built in the 50s or 60s, or maybe it was even earlier than that. Not that long ago, but it certainly has a more sinister feel to it than the home itself. The home you get, and I don't want to take this away from John, because John,
of course not,
he basically lives there, but I would say that he's investigated it more there than probably anywhere else he's done, and he's done it for years, and he just knows when something says something and he picks it up on his recorder, chances are he may recognize the voice or something like that, or the name, or there's not much that kind of can get by him, because he's just experienced just about everything there. And so they have Paracons there, and they have all kinds of events. But they've also captured pictures and things like that. And it's when you're in a building that old, there's going to be things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you visit during the day, it's absolutely gorgeous the way it sits on the river. And
can you visit it during the day?
Yeah, they offer tours.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to call and make an appointment to do that. I don't know if you can just pull up and do that. because it's a bed and breakfast. So
Okay.
people are actually staying there.
It's a fun location for sure, Sully said.
Yeah, and it's like I said, for Richmonders, it's not that far. For Marylanders, it's not that far. It's about, I guess, about halfway. But it is rural because once you get to that part, you cross over that river. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's a
Right.
very rural area and very historic. Now, that's just about the home, but the area has a lot more history. Anybody hear of John Wilkes Booth? Well, John Wilkes Booth, when he left after assassinating the president, made his way down from Northern Virginia and came across right there at Belle Grove and crossed the Rappahannock River into a little town that's on the other side of the river, on the southern side of the river, known as Port Royal. And Port Royal is one of those little towns you just got to go and see. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful old homes and very historic, and they're trying to redo some of those homes. But he went through there, and then further down 301, just a few miles from Belle Grove, on 301, heading back towards Richmond.
Hey, Savage.
You will run across, and the best sign is when you're actually heading north on 301. They have signs that says assassin, Lincoln's assassin.
Hey, John.
And they have a plaque, or one of those roadside signs, historical markers, that they know where the barn that John Wilkes Booth went into and was basically shot, and he was captured there. And when he was shot, he was paralyzed. This is the story that most historians believe. As the barn was, he was caught and pulled out, and he had been paralyzed from the gunshot and died. So they captured him there. Just if you're going down 301, it's two lanes going north and south, but right in the middle of the road is a median of woods. And right in the middle of the median is where that barn stood. So at some point, 301 was either probably further to the east, and it was probably just a dirt road, and it wasn't probably just a highway like it is today. It's just probably more like a path.
Mm-hmm.
But that went by the barn, and so you cannot, because the government owns all that property on the eastern side of 301, the military,
Okay.
Fort AP Hill.
Mm.
They have all these no parking signs on there. When you start to see that you're getting close to the area, because people would get out and and go into that medium. And I've done it, looking for the place. I don't know if anybody's. They used to clear it off, but I don't think they even do that anymore, just to keep people safe and not trekking into the middle of a major highway. But it is pretty cool that a lot of people will just drive by there every day and never know that that's where John Wilkes Booth was captured. And as you come on down a little bit further, you'll come up on Port Royal, and then across the river is Belle Grove on your left-hand side. And Belle Grove, like I said, is a very historic building, but it's also a bed and breakfast, so you can stay there and you can tour it. They have events there all the time, and just a beautiful property. John does these lockdowns. John Sullivan does these lockdowns. I think about 4 a year, if that's right. He does tours, and they are. I'm sure he gets asked to do tours because there might be some guests that want to do tours while they're staying there. Hey, y'all do ghost tours? Well, yeah, let me call John and get John over here to do that.
He said tours are Wednesday through Sunday. Best to reserve daytime tours. So we need to put a link in there where people can go for that.
Yeah, it's
line.
It is definitely a to do. It should be a bucket list item for Virginia, is to do Belgrove, and you have multiple opportunities through the year.
We were going to do that one time. What happened? I think it was something happened with the tours and they weren't doing them, remember?
Yeah, we were going to do that. We were going to meet on a night up there. But there's John is really good about doing letting us know about the things, and I certainly will help make it known for people. But the size of the group he had the other night at the lockdown really looked good. Those lockdowns are a lot of fun. It's literally kind of like an all-nighter that people can do. They can, if they don't want to do that, they can do the shorter investigation where I guess you come and leave at midnight or something like that. And then you have the ones that will stay all the way through the night.
Nice. He said he'd done several ghost tours for guests over the last 6 years.
Yeah, it's like I said, he's the man when it comes to Belgrove, and you want to know anything about Belgrove, that's the guy to go to.
Indeed.
Kim Sage is another one. It's on his team that does a lot of events there too, and the psychic medium things that she participates in and leads, and they're always doing events there. But the house is really beautiful. I mean, if you ever have a chance to go and tour the house, there's it's a kind of a crazy layout, not your typical Georgian architecture, because that means that everything's symmetrical, like the manor house.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the houses look like that at that time frame of wealth. Well, this one is kind of spread out and long with lots of rooms. So
we all need to get together at BG.
Belgrove.
BG.
We'll go eat at Horns beforehand. And that's a little restaurant, gas station, convenience store that's right there.
I love that place.
Just a little south of Port Royal.
I love that little place.
They've got actually an antique store there, right in that same area that has been investigated by John and them as well. So I went in there one day, and right there on the front it says, "Yes, we do have ghosts, and no, they're not evil," or something like that. And then I saw John had left some of his business cards for Fredericksburg Paranormal.
Nice.
They're on the counter, and I talked to the lady for a little bit, and so she says that a lot of things happen there, and I'm
sure, because you can just drive through there and see it's old. You know what I'm saying? It's just a nice little point place when I go through there. I don't go through there often, but sometimes I have to go through that way. When I would go to Ocean City, I would cut that way.
It used to be very rural. Now Horns has been there for forever.
Forever.
And I would beg my mom and dad to, because we were every weekend, that's where we went, because we had a place up near the Potomac. And we would go by there, and I would beg them to stop, and they would never do it. And then today, it's still there, but across the street is a Royal Farms, and that place does a business. Good fried chicken.
Oh,
yeah. And you go on a Sunday, you're gonna wait. There'll be people packed in there.
My arteries.
I know.
Better take some extra niacin.
So yeah, we'll get together at Bill Grove. We'll just plan something, maybe a Friday night. Get up there.
Hit a nitroglycerin pill.
Yeah.
Sorry. Make sure I have it.
Yeah,
the updated one today.
Right, the minnow bucket. I couldn't remember the name of the place, and yeah, the lady was really nice, but the whole area, I would love to be able to get in some of those places in Port Royal, because you feel like you're kind of in a miniature Williamsburg or Yorktown. It's the same kind of time frame.
Yes.
And the houses are, just, you can look at them and tell how old they are. Like real old, like start of the country old type of things. And there's some of them that, need a lot of work, and some of them that worked on, they stopped working on, and some of them, I would just love to see if they could get them built back up to what they used to look like. But I had a chance to go up to Williamsburg one day. We were right there before the Oyster Festival. We were in Williamsburg, and so my sister and I went over to the historic park and we walked the whole place. You know how Donna is. She's just going to walk you to death.
She is about 15 good miles, just like she used to try to kill us on them bikes.
Yeah.
And we said only a couple more miles after we done went 10 miles.
Yeah.
And so to kill me and John on the bike. She's like, let's keep going. And I'm like, oh, hell no. It's time for me to go home, Donna.
I wasn't planning on walking the whole historic area, but I did.
She did, yeah.
And
woman is fit.
And of course, it was daytime though, and so we went by. But it was funny because the Peyton Randolph house, I wasn't the only one. I took Donna by there, and I said, "This is the famous Peyton Randolph house," and told her all about it. There were several other people that were looking, and they were. I think they had an idea too, about the place. Now it's nothing. That place is really creepy at night.
I always found it intriguing.
It is, but if you can get by there, I tell you the best area to go. If you a lot of people don't know you can do this at night. You can walk anywhere you want to down there, and investigate if you want. It'll be outside.
We've done that.
But go down there real late at night and go down that same road, that Peyton Randolph house, and head towards. If you're looking at the house, go to the right and go down to the gallows where the that building where they actually hung the pirates, I think, down there.
Yeah.
And that's really creepy because you kind of go through a little bottom
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a natural like ravine down in there. I had never noticed any of that.
Really?
There's like when you're up on the main street, Duke of Gloucester, one street over, you can see it. In between a couple of the houses, there's a big, deep ravine, and you can see a natural flowing spring through
It's
there.
pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that goes down towards the gallows, and but you could only imagine what it was like maybe a few years ago when it, they probably got it now so that it doesn't get out of control. But that whole area is just awesome to tour. It's just unbelievable that they had to go in there and save all of that. The Rockefeller came in there and spent a lot of his money and salvaged the place, and a lot of the places were just, some of them were totally rebuilt. Some of them, 90% of them, needed new roofs and flooring and everything else. And so, but boy, is that a moneymaker for Williamsburg. And there was, even during the day on a Wednesday, it was busy.
Yeah, it stays busy over there.
Yeah. And what I didn't know till Geri told me is how they actually rent those, for lack of a better term, cabins, right there on Duke.
They do have some now that are starting to rent.
Yes, they do.
I haven't checked the price, but they advertise it. Stay in a period home right there on.
It's been tempting. I checked into prices for it, but it's been so long ago since I checked into those prices. But yeah, they because you get a little group of people together, they're not going to know.
No, I know.
I was thinking about going renting and just running equipment. How are they going to know?
I got to talking to so they have this, they had the Powder magazine building is all covered up because they're doing archaeological work there, because they had found 6 or 7 Confederate soldiers buried there.
Yes. Yep.
And so I was talking to one of the guys about it. He said, yeah, they didn't know it. They just happened upon it. They were doing some work and they discovered the bodies, and then they had a full and of course I had to ask. I said, well, do you think that's done stirred some stuff up? And he goes, well, I don't know about that, but he goes, we sure do have a lot of ghost tours that will certainly gave them a lot of new material to work with. So they have more ghost tours at Williamsburg than I've ever. I mean, I just did a Google search, and there must have been 10 that came up. Of
10 storytellers. Oh,
10,
I'm sorry.
10 different.
I'm sorry.
Tour groups. Yeah. What was without, maybe we can't be sued, can we? What was the group that y'all had an issue with? What was the one?
We still have an issue with.
Yeah. Spooks and Legends.
Well, we'll just say it. We can just call it.
I used to promote their stuff all the time. I mean, they obviously do a good business because people are, their business, they sell a lot of tickets.
They do, but the problem with them is that if they put something on their Facebook page, let's say they will put a picture out there and call it paranormal, and when you go in under the comments and you try to give an opinion, they will erase your comment and block you off of their page. So to me, what is that beeping noise? Oh, that
And
must be you with high sugar and your alarm saying, oh, maybe you shouldn't have had that candy.
it ain't me.
But that's one thing with that. And then of course they don't know how to stay in their lane when
Yeah.
it comes to that's the issue we have. Trying to snake our tours. You know, that's like me trying to go to Belle Grove and taking John Sullivan's stuff, you know, and saying, oh, I can do a ghost tour out here. And that's the problem we had with them and have with them.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the other tour groups think of them.
I don't know. I mean, I've been on some of the tours out there. You know, the ones that I've been on have been pretty much storytelling because, as you know, they don't let you investigate in any of the buildings. So you don't know. You know, we don't know. How do you know? And that's always been my argument with people. How do you know, like the Peyton Randolph house is really the most haunted house? Because you can't go in there and do anything. They won't let you because they don't want to be known for that.
But they sure do allow those ghost tours to go on.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
But people don't know any better either. You're talking about tourists that are coming in. They don't know. They're going based on a brochure they're reading. You know, but we locals know the difference.
I like it that it's very accessible. So they
Mhm.
don't put a gate around the entire historic area and
Right.
say, you got to buy a ticket to be able to walk down this road. You know,
Right.
as soon as they did that, people would never visit. So that it is accessible.
It
That
is.
doesn't, but I mean, and they rightfully so, they can make you have to buy a ticket to be able to go into the buildings.
Well,
Yeah.
and those parts I understand, but there was one part like the garden area out there that you used to not have to have a ticket for, and now you do, and that's just ridiculous to me. There's a couple things that they have done different that just was a turn off. Places that didn't have tickets, they made it tickets, and it's just like, okay. Because I don't think they're making money. I think they're actually losing money from what one of my friends told me, that they lose quite a bit of money.
Well, I mean, they've gotten creative on how I'm talking about the Williamsburg Foundation has gotten creative because now you used to be able to, they had some free lots you could go and park in. And now they charge you to park in those lots.
Yeah.
And they make it really hard to find parking on the street. So they want you to, in fact, if you go to their website and you try to look up parking, it'll give you some options, but it talks about what the prices are. Then they just conveniently say, and this is smart on their part, and I can understand why they do it, is come to the visitor center, pay to park there, and then use the free transportation buses to get around. So you pay to leave your car there in a safe, secure lot while you can ride the bus system, plus see the visitor center, museum, and all that right there. And,
or you can just go in the parking lot, bypass all that, and take their little trail and not pay a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, and there are a lot of people. We parked on the street, but it was an hour park.
Yeah.
And so we set our alarm on our watch, and when it started getting close, we started heading back, and we made it within an hour. So, you know,
or you can download the app and set up the Williamsburg parking garage one, and then they just automatically charge your card when they scan you. They do some type of scanning through, and then they just automatically charge your card.
Yeah, that's what the website promotes, to do it that way.
And I don't mind that because it gives you the opportunity. I think, what was it, the first 30 minutes or an hour is free or something like that. And then after that, they charge you a couple dollars, and I don't mind it. It's worth it to me. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's a couple dollars an hour, and then
Mhm.
after $12, it's free.
Yeah,
$12
so
for 24 hours.
yeah, so I've never minded the parking stuff, particularly when I had both of my boys go. We had a good time, so it didn't bother me then. And then if they send you an anonymous like ticket in the mail, then you just call Williamsburg police and say, "Why did I get this ticket?" Or, "Why'd y'all do this?" And then most of the time they take care of it. I've had all the experiences, so I know.
Sounds like it.
I have. They're like, "Would you put this ticket on? Why is this extra $25 on here? I paid that. I can't help it. Your machine sucks." So
Yeah. One night, Jerry and I, we were out at the Peyton Randolph house. We're running an EVP session. And I had my recorder set up, and I said something along the lines, "Can you let us know you're here?" And a costume employee come walking out the Peyton Randolph house, scared. I didn't know there was anybody in there. Scared the crap out of me.
yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah.
No.
There aren't that many events coming up. I mean, it's kind of sporadic now. We went through a period where there were so many. Now we're kind of getting into that winter mode where there are there's only a few, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other ways of investigating and things like
Right.
that. The normal ways.
Right.
But as far as events, Pamplin Park is this weekend, Saturday night. The 22nd out at Pamplin Park. I think tickets are still available. I'm not sure because they had a good turnout a few months ago. What was that?
Hampton Park is such an awesome place.
And then that's the 22nd. And then on the 6th of December, I know that sounds like a far time away, but it's only 3 weeks.
It's really
not
not.
less than a month.
The Tennessee Race Chasers will be at Dunlora, and with Haunted Nights. And then also on the same night, if you didn't want to go to the greater metropolis of Mineral, Virginia, you can go to Chesterfield County and do Trinity Church, which is out at near the Chesterfield Courthouse location. And Trinity Church they've used it for years as a it was the headquarters for the historical foundation. I'm not sure if it is now, but it does store a lot of things there. And it was a working church at one time, but it has a lot of activity. That was one of the very first places I ever investigated. It's right there on the old courthouse kind of green area, if you want to call it that. And then on the 13th, a week later, is the Tennessee Race Chasers will be out at St. Albans again with Haunted Nights. They come every year. This year they're in December, but I think last year they did December and then again like at the end of January. They were there like almost a month later. I don't know if they'll do that this year or not, but St. Albans always has a good turnout. I mean, like it'll be full. If St. Albans, you could sell 1,000 tickets and still have plenty of room for everybody. But they try to keep it to a certain number so that the groups aren't that big. And then not too far in the distant future is January 30th. There'll be the Hanover Paracon out at the Hanover Courthouse Complex with the Steve Dills putting on the Hanover Paracon. Done that about 3 years in a row now. Really good turnout. A lot of people come to that. it's in a good location because you get a lot of people from up north, Maryland, and they come down 301 down to that Hanover area and plus Richmond, but they have a good building to hold it all in. Their multi-purpose facility in the back of the tavern, where a lot of weddings and receptions are held. They put all their vendors inside, so there's nobody who has to sit outside. Plus, in the house itself, in the main building, the tavern, they will have vendors in various locations. Plus, they have speakers. I think starting at about 11 o'clock in the morning, going all day. So there'll be people coming and going. I always see people that we know. It's always a good place to see people. You know, I saw Ronnie and Shayla last year. I saw Ronnie Anderson and his whole team came down. And that was really great. Anytime you get a chance to spend time with Ronnie Anderson and his group, they're just good people. I can't remember half the other people I saw, but you know, I try to see and talk to as many people as possible. And but I had seen Ronnie the year before as well, so maybe that's going to be a yearly thing for him. And Ronnie and Shayla came down, so it's always good to hang out with them. But other than that, then we're going to get it. You know, then it's like you're almost getting into springtime, and that's so. It seems like after Halloween, things start to kind of fly by a little bit.
Dead winter nights where it's freezing.
Yeah, it's nothing like being at Pamplin Park when it's 22 degrees outside. They put the fire out at the campsite, remember? And nobody does investigating. Everybody wants to sit by the fire and pull up one of the benches by the fire, because that nobody, if you go leave that area, you're going to start to freeze. So
unless you have a heated jacket.
Well, I had those hand warmers.
A heated jacket. I was thinking about getting me some heated pants because this is just ridiculous. This cold weather.
Pamplin was really cold. I can't even remember what month that was, but it was.
We went one time in September. The first time we went, it was in the summertime. Yeah, remember when we first met? That was in the summertime, but that was good because they had burgers and all that good food.
Yeah, that's right.
That. That picture popped up the other day.
I can't remember. Maybe it was November that they.
Yeah, there was one time it was very cold.
But I remember.
I want to say November.
When we went over to that house and we went upstairs into the attic.
Yeah,
it was freezing up there still, and I remember there was no place to sit, so you had to sit on the floor. And I sat on that floor, and I don't know. I just got curled up right there and sat on the floor, and after being on my feet all day, and my legs was hurting, and I'd gotten comfortable. Next thing I know, I'm just out. I'm falling asleep. John wasn't doing no investigating.
Yeah, that was a September, I think it was.
Well, the time I went in September, it was still like 89 degrees at like 9 o'clock at night, and it was sweltering hot.
Well, maybe it was October, November. But
I think it was November.
Yeah,
I remember when we did that.
It was really cold. I remember going out to that outside place where the pit is. And you're just sitting there like trying to do an EVP session, and as you're talking, the you see the vapor coming out of your mouth. And
But you got to wear really good walking shoes if you're going to Pamplin Park investigation, because you walk a lot too. For those, if
you do.
If you're new and you have never been there, even if you haven't been to the park, you got to have some good walking shoes, because it's a big park. It's spread out. It's not little, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
Well taken care of. You do have you have a museum that you'll investigate, really top notch, which is a lot of fun to be in. You've got a welcome center, or what do they call it? Like they use it for school groups, because that's
educational center.
Yeah,
the
educational center is the first place you go, and you're in there. That's where you meet and go back to during breaks and stuff like that. And it's just really an awesome place. And then they have the other building that has, I don't even know what they call that. They've got some other relics and everything in it, a totally different building. So three buildings and a house and slave quarters.
There's several places. The breaking point, the camp, the encampment.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot.
It's 400 acres. Not that you'll see 400 acres,
right?
But you'll think you did by the time the night's over.
Yeah.
So it's one of those places you just got to go and visit. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll be able to go there this year, this fall. I'll be visiting my sister on Saturday and family. So
I'll be at the museum. No, I won't be at the museum. I have clients on Saturday, but Sunday I'll be at the museum. Thursday and Sunday I work this week.
But other than that, not a lot of going on. Have y'all captured anything at the Manor House lately, or
little things here and there in the EVP sessions? One lady sent us a picture. When was it? Yesterday?
Yesterday or the day before.
Of what she thought was a shadow there. It's kind of interesting looking, but have to look at that a little bit more closely. What else?
People can take pictures of things and convince themselves that there's something there.
Oh yeah.
And everybody does it.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's convinced that their picture is there's really something there, and they get mad if you don't see it the way they see it, or if you call them out on it.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh,
I mean,
Flowers got kicked out of one group for saying, "What'd you say?" I think that's pareidolia.
Yeah, I said to me, I as politely as I could, I said, to me, it looks like it's pareidolia.
No.
They
blocked him and kicked him out. Yeah. She sure did. Because I know who's in charge of all that. Yeah, she sure did. She didn't like you.
I meant to ask y'all, have y'all ever investigated in Suffolk?
I have not.
In Suffolk? I did a private house in Suffolk a few years back.
Well, I had a chance to, and this story won't take that long. So, on my Williamsburg visit, we took a day and went to Suffolk, and I said, "What in the heck is in Suffolk? There's nothing in Suffolk." And so I have a sister that they decided they wanted to do Suffolk. So the first thing they're going to do is go to TripAdvisor.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one thing that came up was a historic home called Riddick's Folly.
Hmm.
And they said, and they would have had me if they had told me a little bit about it, but I had never heard of it. I said, this is not, I'll go, but I'm along for the ride. What else is there to do? I'm already planning plan B and plan C. And they said, well, there's the Planter's Peanut Shop. That was another big thing to do. And I can tell you that was more of a disappointment than anything I've ever done in my life. There was nothing there. So don't go to Suffolk thinking you're going to go see the Planter's Peanut thing, because there's nothing there.
Oh, that sucks.
But Riddick's Folly. So we pull up and we find it, and it's an old brick home, big brick home, right there in downtown Suffolk, or near downtown Suffolk. And right up front, they have a cannon. So I said, oh, so it must be Civil War related. Now, I'm going in, I don't know nothing. I usually have done research. I don't know nothing. So read a couple of the signs and everything, and went on up. I said, where's the entrance? It's like these big front steps, and no one ever goes front steps on any big important house. But that was the only thing I saw. So we just went on up there. Sure enough, the door opened. We go on in, and this man met us. His name was Ed King, and he welcomed us to Riddick's Folly. And I said, he goes, it was like $8 for the tour, which is nothing. And he started to tell us the history of the house. This man named Riddick, last name is Riddick, had it built, and he was real big into where he made his money. Now, when I say this house is big, it's hard to tell how big it is, but when I say it has 21 rooms and 16 fireplaces, it's 8,000 square feet.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
This is a house. I mean, this is a big house. It is like 4 stories. And it has a basement.
Oh.
So it already has my attention, because he said it was built by this man named Riddick, but it's best known because it was it was used as a Union headquarters for a general during that campaign in 1962. I said, all right, well, now, this is at least got some Civil War history. This is what I like. This is going to be a good tour. And I'm going to fast forward through this because I could talk about it all day. 3 hours later, Ed King was one of the that was the best tour I've ever had of a historic home. Hands down, no doubt about it. Come to find, I was more interested in Ed King by the time this thing was over with. He had worked there for 35 years. Nice man, but a good storyteller. But the reason it was good was because a lot of the stuff in the house had been carried away by the Union Army when they left. They ransacked the place and left with a lot of the stuff inside the house.
Oh, wow.
Piece by piece, he has personally, on many things, brought back. He's been able to find them, research, go get them, buy them back. Sometimes people give them to him. He found people have contacted him from overseas and said, hey, I have this thing. I was looking it up, didn't know what it was. Ben, I think it might be something to do with your house. And sure enough, it would be like some missing painting or something that was hanging in the house at one time. And somehow this person would just give it to him. He had stories about everything in the house like that.
Oh, wow.
He was personally responsible for bringing a lot of stuff in, which even made it even better because you could tell that he had done so much for the house. There was, as we went up the stairs, there was a room that had bloodstains on the floor. Now, some of the earlier pamphlets that we had read and stuff describing the house said it was used as a Union hospital. But when we asked him about it, he said, no, I think we've debunked that. That's not the truth. What we do now believe, though, is that blood is real. It was Confederate blood, and it's where they were getting information from Confederate soldiers.
Hey, Chris.
Wow.
And they had them in that room, and they were like torturing them or beating them or something to get the information. Or maybe they were just had been wounded and they were, now he's not saying that there was never anybody fixed up, at that place, but it was really cool to see. And it was only in that one area, in that one room. So that's why they don't think it was the whole house was a hospital when he says that the flooring is all original. He had another room that had a bunch of Civil War items in it. This is, when you go ghost hunting and they talk about objects maybe being haunted or carrying something, something's attached to an object. I've got the ultimate item. So the lady of the house was the daughter of Mr. Riddick. She was born there. And when she was in her 20s, her fiance went off to fight in the war and was killed. Never came back home. She never remarried. She never got married, never fell in love again. But she stayed in that house till she was 97. In 1930 something, she finally died at the age of like 97. She lived in the house that long. Interesting story was they went and they found out where he was buried. And some people actually, for the family, dug him up.
Oh.
And they called her to identify, to make sure it was him. And she went and identified. How she could identify him was he had a gold tooth. They reached down and pulled that gold tooth out, gave it to a person who then made a ring out of that gold tooth and put a lock of his hair in like this glass thing in the center and made a ring out of it and gave it to her. That ring was on display under a glass case in that Civil War room. And I said, if there was ever an item that was carrying something, that would be it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great story. And to look at it, boy, I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm just, couldn't believe it. And it's like, that was a man's gold tooth inside a dead body and they dug it up, pulled it out, and made a ring out of it. How cool is that?
With a lock of hair.
So at the end, we're almost done. At the end, we had to ask, Mr. King, is the place haunted? You're here all the time. You gotta let us know. And he goes, I think we do have some ghosts here. He goes, we've had several teams come and investigate. He goes, we had one, and I think these were all private Had one that was downstairs in the parlor where they have a piano and everything, and they're right on the top of the was a saucer with a teaspoon in the saucer for like serving sugar out of.
Mm-hmm.
While they were doing an EVP session, the spoon flipped out of that saucer and flew off the piano. And then they got EVPs that said, "Who are you and what are you doing in my house?"
Oh.
Those were some of the EVPs that they got. He said he heard it. He said he had. I said, "Well, what is the thing that you experience when you're here by yourself? You know, do you ever?" He goes, "I hear doors open and doors shut. One time I heard you get used to certain sounds, like this is the sound of an old house. This is the sound of the air conditioning cutting on. This is the sound of or door opening." He goes, "I heard the door open. And I went upstairs to see who it was, and there was nobody there. But yet that door that he recognized the sound of that door opening. He said, you know, in order to open it, it just doesn't come open. You have to turn that old rickety handled and open the door, and it creaks a certain sound." And he said he hears that from time to time, where it sounds like it's opens and shuts, opens and shuts. And he said that happens all the time. So interesting place to go visit. Ed King is well worth the like I said, we were enthralled we didn't mean to spend so much time there, but he's got a room that the house was saved. It was going to be torn down by the city of Suffolk.
Oh.
Mills Godwin, former governor of Virginia, came in, donated a lot of money because his wife had lived in that area, was from that area, and he gave a lot of money to save the house. The house has been totally the walls were gutted. The frame of the house was redone. The flooring's all original. But they kind of modernized it a little bit with security and stuff like that. But it is really in great shape.
Yeah, I was looking at a picture of it. It's kind of neat looking.
So there's a thing that I'm going to do now when I go down to Suffolk, and I'm going to Suffolk again just to see my buddy Ed King, who I got to do a picture for me. Let me get it real quick. I got it right here.
Okay. Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
And I got him to sign it at the
Nice.
But he hand drew that. So he's a talented guy.
That's really nice. That's beautiful.
That is Riddick's Folly. I asked him, I said, "What do they call it Riddick's Folly?" And he goes, "Because at the time it was so strange of a house because of the size and everything like that. People just joked about it all the time because it was nothing else like it in that whole eastern area."
Mm-hmm.
So
wonder how expensive it is to investigate it.
I was wondering the same thing.
I know. And I didn't get that answer. I didn't ask that question. But since he said he's had people investigate that before, he maybe,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Phil Payette said his team investigated back in 2011.
Ed King is an exceptional steward. He is not, of course, he knows everything about the house. He knows a lot about the area.
Mm.
But one of the touching stories he told me was we were upstairs and I was looking at all the Civil War swords and stuff that were up there under case. And he said, "Yeah, we got," I said, "Well, what," I said, "Who one of the persons that said there was buried in some cemetery. I said, "Where's that cemetery at?" And he goes, "It's right behind the house. It's like on the hill, right across from the back of the house." I said, "Oh yeah, I see that cemetery now." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, my wife and I, we enjoy being close to it. Of course, it's been her home for 10 years.
Oh.
So she died about 10 years ago, and that's where she's buried."
Aww.
And he said, "I get to be with her still to this day." So,
Aww. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's not cool, but you know what I mean.
2011, that's a, I don't, I would love to investigate there. So, I mean, if you were going to do a public investigation there with, you could probably easily do 3 or 4 teams of 8, with as many floors and, it's a big place.
It looks like it's a big place. Just looking at the pictures.
Well, thank y'all for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you.
Yeah, next time it'll be close to Christmas next time you see me.
Yes. Very close. Yeah. Can't believe that.
Where'd this year go?
I know. Time flew by.
I know.
Well, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for joining us tonight on Vibe Time with Geri. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about energy work, Reiki versus intuitive healing, because people always ask what the difference is. So we'll be talking a little bit about that in this metaphysical hour. So it's hard to say what's going to come up. So we will see y'all next week, same time, same day, Vibe Time with Geri, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good night, everybody.
Night. See y'all next week.